What is going on to everyone out there? I appreciate you first and foremost for clicking on this video. And as you see from the title, we are talking about the ending of Alien Romulus. So full spoilers ahead. But before we get into that discussion, again, thank you for clicking on the video. Like, share, leave your thoughts on the ending. Also, what do you think is going to happen next? Do you want to see a continuation of Andy and Rain's story? Let me know in the comments below. But before we get into all that, check out my spoiler-free review of the film. Check out my spoiler breakdown leading up into the events till we get to this ending. Check it out. And also, I did a ranking video. So a lot of Alien Romulus content on the channel that you all will hopefully check out. I would appreciate it. I'll leave all the links to those videos in the description. But again, we are discussing the ending to Alien Romulus and also kind of talking a little bit about what's going to happen next in the franchise, what I would like to see in the franchise. So buckle up and let's get into it. The third act is, to me, the best part of this film. Nothing against Act 1, Act 2, but as I talked about in my spoiler-free review and in my spoiler breakdown, a lot of remixing, a lot of rehashing, some innovative scenes, but I just wish it was more original. I wish it was more Fede, because I love Fede Álvarez, and I thought this third act was Fede Álvarez. This was him. He was paying homage to Ridley Scott in the first half, with it being like a slow burn, paying homage to James Cameron in the second half, being more of an action-heavy film. But this was Fede in the third act. So as we break this down, the best part of the film, we have Andy, we have, Kay's in the ship at this point, and we have my girl Rain. She's going back. She went back to save her brother. And now they're on the ship and they're thinking that, everything's good, which is a trope in the Alien franchise, especially in the original 2 with Ripley thinking that everything's good and she's going to go into hypersleep. And the same with Aliens, Newt and Bishop, everything's good and Gucci. It isn't. She finds out that one of the aliens, the xenomorph, is on the ship with them. And it's not your average xenomorph. The whole film led up to this point of, obviously, Kay is pregnant. And again, check out my full spoiler review about who the dad may or may not be. But we have Kay, who's pregnant. And before she went on the ship, the goo from Prometheus and Covenant that David was working on, and obviously Rook and the Ash-looking Rook that I was not a fan of was working on. She's kind of desperate. And I understand the decision, but it was a bad decision. She sticks herself with the goo because she wants to protect her and her child, obviously, because at this point in the film, she's been thrown around. She's been kidnapped by a xenomorph. So she's like, I want to protect my kid. And she kind of heard that it's something that can enhance the human body. So I get the decision. So they're on the ship. Rain puts her in the cryo sleeping chain so they can go to their 9-year trip. She puts the kind of a sleeper mode for Annie to get prepared for when they need to get what they need to go. He wakes up, yada, yada, yada. Rain, again, this third act to me, while it was Fede, this to me was a better version of like rehashing scenes, but also having his visionary style on it. This was Alien because as we'll break it down, this reminded me of Alien, Aliens, Alien Resurrection, and of course Prometheus. So we have an alert goes off with Kay's pod. She opens it, and here comes the baby, y'all. Obviously, the injection enhanced the baby and it sped up things. Betty, the weirdo you are, and I loved it, but I have some criticisms that we'll talk about here in a second. The baby's coming out. It eventually comes out. And obviously, Kay has just had the baby. She undoes the umbilical cord, and the baby with the acid kind of goes through the ship. Before we continue, my issue, Fede Álvarez, you're the same guy that gave us the blood scene, the blood of Rain and Evil Dead. You're the same guy that gave us the turkey baster scene in Don't Breathe. You get weird, and I love the weirdness, and I love the creepiness and the sexual nature, perverted nature of his films. The baby, chest burster, baby birth, a la Shaw from her C-section in Prometheus. Couldn't have been gorier, could it have been bloodier, could it have been more disgusting and just unnerving, and it makes you want to look at it through your hands. I think so. I think it was rushed. It went too fast for me. Like, it should have been more brutal, more tension. It's I don't want to get too perverted and demonetize this video, but like the birth canal, like it could have got bloodier, y'all, if you ask me, but it didn't. But the result of what comes out of Kay is pretty crazy. At this point, we have Rain going through the ship looking for the creature, the hybrid creature. The skin's peeling off, and we eventually see it. It's pretty grotesque. It is a pretty disgusting looking hybrid. It's a mixture of obviously a xenomorph, obviously a mixture of like an actual human body DNA, but also the engineers, which the engineers by themselves look creepy as hell. So it's this hybrid looking 7 foot tall creature from the Smile movie. It looks very much like the creature from Smile. But again, the thing that I really enjoyed about it is because I am a Prometheus Covenant fan, I like that we kind of see that kind of payoff of what a perfect specimen human birth creature hybrid would look like. And this is what Fede does for me, right? I really enjoyed the design and the creature that we have here. But we see the creature. We have Rain, who is in the suit at this point. You know, she had to use the ice machine, which I love that tension, how she was crawling up to the suit, which again reminded me of Alien, with obviously seeing Ripley in the suit with the xenomorph that was hiding in the kind of the cabin area of the ship. She gets in the suit, and the alien makes his way to like a corridor, kind of darker area, and she comes face to face with it. But she, you know, she's smart on her feet. She wants to do, which is obviously alien callback to many films, especially Alien and Aliens. Let's get it out of the airlock, right? And she has to use the hatch or the levers to release it, but obviously it's just grabbing onto her and getting her. But she inevitably does get the hatch open, and I just love the sound design in this film. When they go out into space, you know, at this point, the tension's high, the score is pumping, blood's pumping, everything's working, and then, you know, obviously it's no sound in space. And I just love the visual of the creature hanging on to the foot. And again, it reminded me of Aliens, with the creature being held down and the air shaft open in space. And it was pretty awesome. She is able to obviously get the alien or the hybrid alien off of her. It's now floating in space, very similar to Kane's son, Big Clap. So, question I have for you on number one, what did you think about the third act? I know it could be divisive for some, especially if you're not a fan of Covenant and Prometheus and hybrid looking creatures like the same creature we got from Alien Resurrection. And I was hoping for the creature to say, "Mommy," to Kay when it saw it, because it didn't kill Kay, because it's obviously its mother. But let me know what you thought of the design, the third act, how it all led up, and all that stuff. Let's talk about it in the comments. But my next question is, what is going to happen to that hybrid? Where is that hybrid? Will we ever see what happened as far as continuation with it floating in space? Because, like I said, it is the same thing with Kane's son, the xenomorph that was created from the first Alien. Are we ever going to follow up with that story? Because at this point, as the film ends, you know, obviously Kay, I'm pretty sure she died after giving birth to that creature. But Andy, who initially didn't know that he was going to be able to go on the planet, but she's like, "I don't care. You're coming with me. You're my brother. Like, and I did all this shit to get you to this point. You're coming with me, damn it." So she's taking her brother to the planet. They got 9 years to travel. She goes into sleep, and it's very similar to Alien, with, you know, telling the person, whoever finds this beacon, that what happened. And I hope to find this planet, but if I don't, I'll fix it, right? Because she's a fixer, man. She was quick on her feet. I really enjoyed the Rain character. So will we see the continuation of what happened to because this is obviously taking place between Alien and Aliens. And we know what happens with Aliens, Alien 3, Alien 4. So was the DNA, was this hybrid captured at some point, a la what happened with the cloning with Ripley and 4, and the Queen alien and all that stuff? Does it play into that somehow? Will we ever see Rain and Andy? Did they make it to their planet, or do they get intercepted? Is there another movie, Fede Álvarez come back to direct that mission, the capturing of the hybrid, the capturing of, you know, Wayland taking Rain and Andy? Do they make it to the planet and it's not what they thought it was? Like, is there another story to be told there? I think it is, and I would love to see that personally. But if you're a fan of this franchise like I am, not all stories get wrapped up with a nice little bow. Unfortunately, you know, no Blomkamp, Alien 5 never happened. Ridley Scott, you know, following up to what happened with Covenant, we don't know what's going to happen there. So, like I said, my question in the comments for you all, will we see it? I guess before that, do you want to see Rain, Andy, creature, hybrid android, freak come back? And the second question is, will it come back? You know, I'm pre-recording this. I'm hopeful that the movie is profitable to warrant a follow-up series, but let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. But what I do want to talk about is, we know will be happening. What is a guarantee to happen? What is the next chapter in the Alien franchise? So it was announced a while ago that Noah Hawley, the showrunner, creative director and writer who I'm a big fan of. You know, Legion, one of my favorite comic book TV shows of all time, and the Fargo franchise, who he is just brilliant with that series. He will be showrunning another Alien project, which will be on FX, the first Alien show, if I'm not mistaken, ever. It is called Alien Earth. And from what I'm able to find, because there's very limited information online, like narrative, and there's a cast out there, younger cast, but the basic synopsis so far is that this is a series that will serve as a prequel and will be set 3 decades before the events of 1979 Alien, which again is coming on FX/Hulu in 2025. So, if I were to read into that, obviously that's not a continuation of this story. And it says it's set in the events, so it's in the world of Alien that Ridley Scott has created, but it's in more of the Prometheus. I would probably say the Covenant area, because I believe Prometheus happens. Well, I know Prometheus happens, and I think it's 20, 30 years until we follow up with Covenant, which Covenant is 17 years before Alien. So maybe it's after Prometheus, before Prometheus, more of the engineer story, more of the biological weapon they're trying to create with the black goo that was created by the engineers. I'm intrigued. Number one, I'm an Alien fan, so I'm going to be watching it. But number two, Noah Hawley is an excellent showrunner, so I'm very confident in it. Again, the cast is kind of a new up and coming cast, and again, it's called Earth, so I'm assuming it's going to take place on Earth. More of the Wayland behind the scenes of how that corporation was maybe made and all that stuff. So let me know if you guys are excited for that, and again, let me know if you want to see the continuation at some point, whether it's Fede Álvarez or not. But the continuation of Cailee Spaeny's reign, David Jonsson's Andy, and that freakish looking creature. Will we get that continuation? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Thank you all for watching this ending explain kind of what's next in the franchise. Leave your thoughts, share, like, and subscribe to the channel. Stick around and also check out my other videos that I have about Alien Romulus, especially my ranking of the entire franchise. You all are awesome. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all on the next breakdown.